As I said, the box set kind of wore out its welcome here in my home. And really aren't very many that I would consider getting or not getting rid of. I really condensed these shelves down by just saying, okay, especially the ones where it was like just a slipcover with like individual DVDs in it. And you just end up saying either just spread those DVDs out or, make a little 6-pack for them. But there was one box set that I just couldn't resist. One that I had to get. Die Hard. As you can see here, this is the Blu-ray collection of Die Hard in the Nakatomi Plaza building. Building I've seen. I used to live not that far from it, and I've seen it on many occasions. It's actually the Fox headquarters, 20th Century Fox headquarters, which I wonder what that'll be now that Disney's buying them. Kind of dusty. So where are the movies in this? In the back. Here's the cover, and it comes with a nice book and some collector cards of each of the villains in it, and of course the movies themselves. Die Hard is one of the greatest action movies ever made. I take it back. Die Hard is the greatest action movie ever made. Die Hard 2 is, in my opinion at least, nearly as good. It is a great action movie. A lot of people don't like it. I don't understand that. And a lot of people love Die Hard with a Vengeance, which to me is not nearly as good as the first two. I don't like the fact that it's sort of spread throughout New York. I like in the first two movies how McClane has an investment. He has to do what he's doing for the sake of, in the first, his wife. Well, both times, in the first and the second, and his wife. And then Live Free or Die Hard, which again everybody doesn't like. He has to do it really ultimately for his daughter. And I really like Live Free or Die Hard. I think Live Free or Die Hard is a very underrated movie. And feels very much like Die Hard to me. We're not talking about any of those movies today. We are unfortunately discussing the final movie so far in the Die Hard series, number 5, A Good Day to Die Hard. What happened? What happened? Oh my God, this movie sucks. This movie is terrible. It is one of the most disappointing movies I've ever seen. For me personally, this is really the definition of, a lot of people have talked about it in movies recently with Bruce Willis, him just sleepwalking through it. You can tell he doesn't want to be here. He has no interest in this movie. This is a paycheck, and all he's doing is sitting around thinking about how he's going to spend his money. The plot, such as it is that now he has to go save his son. Jai Courtney, the actor who lacks charisma in every possible way. He's the most bland actor. His best performance that I've seen him in is Suicide Squad. That should tell you something. He has to go save his son, who is in Russia and on trial and accused of a crime. And so now it's John McClane in Russia. And, what I didn't like about the third movie, him sort of having all of New York City to play in. And yes, I know in the fourth movie he has basically the entire eastern seaboard to play in, but now he's got an entire country. And it turns out his son is a spy, and McClane showing up really kind of screws everything up. He's not really much of a hero in this movie. And he just looks like a doddering old man who... Everything about this movie is wrong. Everything about this movie is wrong. Jai Courtney was wrong to play his son. I think this came after Looper. I would have picked Joseph Gordon-Levitt to play his son. Jai Courtney has really, I mean, you want to see another Jai Courtney performance that was utterly wrong. Terminator Genesis, where he played Kyle Reese, and he looks nothing like Michael Biehn. And Michael Biehn was sort of skinny and everything in that movie, and you know, Jai Courtney shows up and he's all muscular and everything. It was just, he's always wrong in every movie. He's always wrong. But this movie in particular, he's just, I don't buy him as McClane's son. And of course, once again, you know, just like with his wife in the first one and his daughter in the fourth, his son resents him and they don't get along and they have to reconnect, and the villain of the movie, they try to do a switcheroo, which I saw coming 1,000 miles in advance. There's very little good in this movie to recommend it. I can't recommend it unless you are a diehard fan like I am. I mean, the movie's just awful, and this is a series that needs to just stop, because if Bruce Willis doesn't care, he shouldn't be putting us through him. I don't know why he doesn't retire. I mean, every now and then, Looper or Moonlight Kingdom, suddenly you see the old Bruce Willis. You see that spark. You see him trying. This is not that movie. And you would think if there was one movie that he was really going to give it his all, it would be a Die Hard movie. This is what made him. You know, no Die Hard, and Bruce Willis is a forgotten star from a TV star from the 80s. And he just clearly doesn't care. He's not even being Bruce Willis at this point. He's just, everybody says it's sleepwalking. That's what it looks like. He's barely there on screen. Even the iconic line, every movie has its little twist on Yippie-ki-yay, motherfucker. Every one of them has its little twist on it. This one, he literally says it like he's so, like he doesn't want to say it. It's literally, Yippie-ki-yay, motherfucker. Like, he just, there's no oomph to it. There's no nothing. It's not the cheer moment that it should be. Even in the fourth movie, everybody criticizes the fourth movie. Even in the fourth movie, that was a moment where you go, yes, McClane! This movie, he's not John McClane. He's just a sad old man who has stumbled into this adventure that his boring son is on. And it's just terrible. And I know that they want to make a sixth movie. I used to think a sixth movie, a final movie. This is what was my idea for it. Nakatomi Plaza's having the 30th anniversary of the hostage takeover. They bring McClane in to celebrate him, to give him some sort of award or something. Holly is still working there, so you've got Holly. You've got his kids show up. His daughter's now married to Justin Long. Samuel L. Jackson shows up. What's his face? Al Powell shows up. And maybe Al Powell is now the chief of police there. And Hans Gruber's son or nephew or whatever shows up. And he wants to, you know, he says it's because he wants to get revenge against McClane. But really it's that he wants to finish the job that his father or uncle, whatever, started all those years ago. And he really doesn't give a shit about McClane. It's just an excuse. And then you could have McClane stuck in the building, and you could maybe have his kids out in the world trying to discover like where the hideout is or what the plans are or whatever. And instead, what is the idea for the sixth movie? It's a fucking prequel. It's a prequel that might be based on a comic that wasn't very good. I have the comic. I've read the comic. It's not very good. Die Hard Year One. It needs to stop. This, much like Terminator, much like Alien, is a franchise that has outstayed its welcome. It needs to just be done. A Good Day to Die Hard. Saddens me to say this about a Die Hard movie. 1 star out of 5. It's just not good. This is awesome. I would recommend getting this very nice collector's set, but unless you're a completist, you can skip the 5th movie.